ever stop to think about the journey water takes? This small river you see here hasn't always been like this. Its story began long ago, high in the mountains, where the first drops came together to form a trickle of water that eventually became a stream. The sound of water boiling, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. Hello, my name is Irene, and today I would like to tell you that there is something special about the little rituals that accompany us in our daily lives. Here, by this river, this moment feels even more connected to nature. The water I use to make my coffee is the same that at some point was part of a river like this one. Perhaps it was once part of the rain that nourished a distant forest, or the ice that covered a mountaintop centuries ago. It's easy to forget that the water we use daily has travelled an endless journey through time and space. As I enjoy this coffee, I think about the story I want to tell today. Because this river is not just a beautiful landscape, it's part of a cycle that sustains life on our planet. Water never stops. From high in the mountains, the first raindrops join into tiny streams that flow down the land, forming brooks. Those brooks grow, turning into rivers like this one, and eventually reach the sea. Then the sun warms the ocean's surface. The water evaporates, rising into the sky, forming clouds that will one day release the rain again. A cycle without beginning or end, which has been happening long before humanity existed. Here, in this dense forest, the river flows calmly, reflecting the sky and the leaves hanging over its course. But this very river has had moments of fury, overflowing with rain, and times of scarcity when the summer heat leaves it almost dry. Its path is never linear, but it always moves forward. Sometimes we take the importance of water in our lives for granted. It's there when we turn on the tap, when we prepare a drink, when we shower. reality is that fresh water is one of the most valuable and scarce resources on the planet. Of all the water that covers the earth, only 3% is fresh water, and of that 3%, most is trapped in glaciers or underground. Only a small percentage is accessible for our use, and yet we often don't appreciate it as we should. Water doesn't just hydrate us, it's the foundation of agriculture, industry, and life itself. Without rivers like this, forests couldn't exist, crops wouldn't grow, and millions of species would lose their home. Taking care of water means taking care of everything around us. But there is a problem we cannot ignore. Despite its importance, many rivers around the world are being polluted. Plastic waste, chemicals, and industrial waste disrupt these ecosystems, endangering flora, fauna, and our own health. The water we pollute does not disappear. It continues its cycle, seeping into the ground, reaching other rivers, the sea, and eventually returning to us. If we pollute the water today, we are affecting the life of tomorrow. Here, in this quiet corner of the forest, the water follows its natural course. But in many parts of the world, rivers can no longer flow freely because they are full of waste or have been diverted by human action. Watching this river while I paint makes me think about how fortunate we are to enjoy landscapes like this. But it also reminds me that it is our responsibility to protect them. Every action counts, from avoiding littering in nature to being mindful of the water we consume at home. Taking care of our rivers is taking care of our future. Water continues its journey, as it has since the beginning of time. We, as part of this world, are also part of that journey. Painting here, next to this river, makes me think about how everything is connected. The water flowing before my eyes is the same that at another time will nourish other rivers, reach the sea, rise into the sky, and fall again as rain. An infinite cycle in which every drop finds its way. The question is, what mark do we want to leave on its path?